Spice, spice, baby. Going low, go down in the... Hi, how's it going? Have you ever wondered what I do the moment before I press record on a video? Well, let me tell you, many things happen. But one thing in particular, I do listen to my little portable speaker and a random playlist. For example, yesterday it was Linkin Park, and today it was cheesy power ballad hit things. And I just had that Loco Poco Poco song on. You didn't want to know that, I'm sorry about that. Welcome to the Taste the World playlist here. I think the last recipe we did was the chicken gyro recipe. Oh my gosh, I can be another song. But if you've missed any of them today, do have a marathon, check them out. Today, we're doing South African recipe. I was going to do something called babuti, was a little bit like a mamushka, a moussaka. I was very tempted to do that, but then there's another one that's come up. It's called a bunny chow. And on Patreon, a guy called Juiced, I hope I pronounced that right, J-O-O-S-T, I think it was, sent me a recipe, and I was like, that looks amazing. And I've just got this thing where you just kind of like serve food and it's all hands-on, you know? I sort of know what I meant. This is obviously a loaf of bread, and this becomes the vessel that the bunny chow is served in. There's a name for it. We'll probably come on to that once we get it all cooking. But I just thought I'd show you. Juice is like, you know, put me to town here. The budget on the spices has gone pretty high. Star anise, cardamom pods, very, very nice indeed. Ground coriander, ground turmeric, cinnamon sticks, garam masala, fennel seeds, and cumin seeds. As well as that, we've got some garlic, I've got some ginger puree, and of course we're probably going to use some salt and pepper as well. So look, spice, spice, baby. I've just realised that first scene, you could hear the sound of the washing machine, which has just stopped, and also, you might better hear it, the gentle gargling of the dishwasher. That's one thing I say to Mrs. Barry when I start filming in the morning. I'm like, please can we work together and not put that on in the morning? And I walk the dogs, I come back, and she's slammed it on. She doesn't care today. That's fine. She kind of lives here. So I'm going to use my old Barry Lewis. See that? That's me. Garlic rocker. We're going to get all our prep done first. So I'm just going to quickly mash up some garlic cloves like this. If you want, I get loads of messes. My garlic veggie chopper prep kit. It's going to be called a veggie prep kit. It's coming out very, 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 very soon. In fact, I've got one in my garage. I just want to make sure that I've got enough stock before I go, yeah, it's ready. And look, I've got 2 available. Probably going to need about 5, aren't I? This is a tomato that I'm just going to roughly chop. Could just use a tin of chopped tomatoes, I'd imagine, instead. But Juice, this is your recipe, mate. That dishwasher is really going for some. The other day, actually, I didn't think it was on. I just thought there was always a gentle humming in my kitchen. Opened it, water went everywhere. It's kind of like Kevin Costner's Waterworld, which actually I think is an underrated film. And that film got absolutely slated. I don't know what you think about that, Linton. I'm going to let you put your comments about Waterworld in the video right now. There we go. Stumpy bum goes. And apparently, this is just a potato. And I say just a potato. I'm not like, oh, you're just a potato. It's not worthless. Potatoes are amazing things. But all I'm going to do is get the sides off. And apparently, we're going to need a batch of cubed potatoes as well. Sort of around about that size. All right, that's all you prep, really. One thing I am going to do, I'm not sure if you can see on the potatoes here, they've got a lot of starch on them. So Juice didn't tell me to do that, but I am going to wash that off, because when I make chips, that's what I tend to do. I don't want any starch in my watery bits. Put them down there. And look, let's see if you can hear the dishwasher now. You hear that? It's still going. So I'm actually just going to leave that to sit there and just to dry out a little bit, okay? I'm sorry about the dishwasher noise, guys, but hopefully I'm talking over it. I figured I'd do this step off the heat. I'm going to add a little bit of oil into this pan, and I'm worried that this might be too small. Normally I'd use a saucepan, but I want to use one that I can hopefully show you a bit better. I'm going to push in the chopped tomatoes. No? No, that, I'm pretty certain, that's an onion. This is a cinnamon stick. It looks a little bit like a cigar. I'm going to try and break it up a little bit. This is a star anise. I don't really like aniseed, so this is kind of, yeah, against my food religion. Some fennel seeds. I love fennel. It's nice. Especially the seeds. And on the subject of seeds, if you've never toasted cumin seeds with onion, have you ever lived? Huh? Oh, just a real sort of rich curry vibe going on. And these are some cardamom pods, okay? There's kind of like a smoky, I don't know, like dirty vibe to it. That's the wrong word to use, but it really is going to add lots of flavour and depth as we warm this right now. I'm a little bit worried because normally I would bash the pods, but Juice hasn't told me to do that. So I'm going to keep it all in, even all this. Hopefully it'll break down into fine bits as we cook it up. I'm going for a wooden spoon today as well, so just going to stir that around. And we're going to cook the onions until they're translucent. It just feels like right now that I've just cooked up something I found in the woods. Look, look, it just looks so autumnal and like woody. That is so fragrant right now. Oh, look at this. Can you see how the seeds are clinging onto the onions and it's starting to go a little bit more translucent? I kind of want to take the shells out, but I think I'm going to stay true to the recipe and just keep them in there. I mean, every other time I have discarded them, but maybe I forgot to write that down. I'm going to totally end up eating that at the end. But the smell, I wish smell-o-vision existed. I'm trying to waft it to you now. Smell your screen. If you're on a bus watching us on a phone, smell your phone right now, okay? I want to see a picture of you doing that. A weird selfie. You like the smell, mate? Is that good?
Sorry, I don't understand.
I just set my off. Okay, we're not done on the herbs and spices. This is some garam masala. Quite a lot of this going in. It's quite weird because this is like a spice blend of a lot of the stuff we're adding in anyway. It's kind of like a mild spice. Turmeric as well, some ground coriander, and this is cayenne pepper. Wow. It's a bit smoky, but I'll take it. Loads of colour going on, but it looks very, very dry. In other words, sorry, I've got the sexy lens on. I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, that's close. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. All right, let's liven it up a bit. There is the tomatoes going in. And the garlic. Oh yeah. Also going to squeeze in some ginger puree. Happen to have this in the fridge, so that's good. And then our meat of choice. This, oh my gosh, apart from the napkin, is lamb shoulder diced. You could use beef, you could use chicken, I guess. Although Juice said to use mainly lamb if I could. So all I'm doing now is getting a little bit of moisture in there. Now you can see how the lamb is breaking down. We are just cooking all of this together, prioritizing the lamb. I gotta be honest, it's very fragrant in here, isn't it? Why aren't you coughing? You like it? I'm not saying I don't like it, it's just there's so much spice coming from this. Oh, I'm very excited. It does say from time to time to add a little bit of water. I'll add quite a bulk bit in a minute, just as we add the potatoes, but I'm just concentrating on cooking that lamb up. Okay, that has been 25 minutes. In my hand, I have some fresh coriander. I'm going to just chuck that in. That's going to wilt down. The lamb is all nice and cooked through and it's absorbed a lot of that water. There's only a little bit left over. So to help with the potatoes, which are going in now, I love curried potatoes. Oh yeah. But just to help that, we will add in about 200 mils of water. So not completely covering the potatoes, but just enough to push some of them into it. And the residual heat will actually help cook them anyway. So we're going to keep this cooking, stirring for about half an hour. So there we go. If you wanted to make it wetter as well, you could just simmer it with the lid on. You get a bit more control that way, whereas this is just evaporating, getting it right down. I want it a little thicker than this, and it's giving a lovely smell around the kitchen. It's making this guy want to kind of lick the floorboards. All right, so while that's simmering away, Juice sent me a huge explanation of what bunny chow is, and I found pretty much the same one on Wikipedia. So it's basically a South African fast food dish consisting of hollowed out loaf of bread filled with curry. Indian labourers who came to work in the sugarcane plantations required a way of carrying their lunches to the field. A hollowed out loaf of bread was a convenient way to transport their vegetarian curries. So a lot of veggies watching, aubergine, just pack it with chickpeas, maybe loads of other pulses and stuff like that. The use of a loaf of white bread can also be described to the lack of traditional roti bread, as well as its weak structure. So actually it's a little bit like the Cornish pasty, how they made the pastry for that. They had a crust that you could hold, so the miners could take it away down the mines and hold it so they wouldn't get dirty hands on it. So you can walk down the road with your bunny chow, and the bread that you've hollowed out, you can dunk in and use that as your thing without even using a spoon and cutlery. And I guess the lid, we can put it back on top. Oh, and just like all the other Taste of the World recipes, if there's any South Africans watching, please add a little pinch of salt, food pun intended, to my method here. I'm just doing my best based on the recipe that I was sent, and if you want to suggest other improvements in the recipe, comments below, do let me know and let the world know. All right, and this is how I know it's done. I've just put the knife into the potato. It's not got too crazy, okay? It's not gone mushy, but it's soft and tender. If you have your potatoes too mushy, there's no point really putting them in, they're just going to turn into mashed potato. That will do nicely. This is done. So apparently it must be a loaf with a flat bottom, well probably because it helps to stand up, but that's also known as a government sandwich loaf. Have I got that right, South Africans? Lekker. Is that right? It's probably find that it's like Norwegian or something.
Lekker means yummy in Dutch.
Oh, lekker means yummy in Dutch. Hello, Dutch people. Anyhow, as we undress this lovely loaf, what you can do apparently is cut it into different sections. Obviously you're going to have the crust on the bottom where there's going to be a lot, but it doesn't matter. When you take the walls away and you leave that base, as long as there's enough bread in there, apparently that will absorb it and hold it. This feels like the longest slice ever. Come on. There we go. That will actually do for me, I think. So what we do apparently is we can just pinch out bits of the filling. It has said you can use like a bit of cutlery, or you can just shovel it out. I think that'll do. Yes. So all we're gonna do then is ladle in. I love that word, ladle. It's up there. I love the words that end in dl, like strudel as well. Random fact for you, rather than calling my channel Barry Lewis and My Virgin Kitchen, I was actually going to call it strudel right at the start because I love that word. But we're just like dolloping that flavour in there. And because it's not too wet, it's sitting there really nice. And apparently it's quite good to just put a little bit of coriander on top like that, a few herbs. And then we just take some of the bread that we pulled off before and just literally dump it on the top like that. Now, if there's some South Africans watching that are disappointed by this, I don't know. To me, that looks blooming awesome. It smells so good. But that, ladies and gents, I think is bunny chow. I just love that whole thing of going, yep, okay, I'm off to work now. Cheers, this is my lunch. Oh, that is flavour packed. I think lamb is a good choice as well. It's super tender, but it's the fragrance, the spices in there. I didn't get any potato, but I just know that's going to be good. Oh. Yeah, almost like al dente, you know? Not my gadget thing down there, but the actual, just the texture of it, and that's what you want. You don't want it too mushy. Perfect. Apparently in South African, there's about 11 different languages there, so I'm just going to say that is lekker. No, that is stonkin. Stonkin lekker. We just invented a language. As I say, I hope I've done this justice. If you have a recipe idea for the Taste of the World playlist, and indeed a recipe you want me to follow, do get in touch on social media of your choice, and I'll add it to the list. Have a marathon now, check out the rest. If you try it, send me a picture. Right. I'm on my way. Bye.
Check your level, player. No matter what your style, the kitchen's for me. Simon's moustache, goatee, maybe all three.
Two more final thoughts. Bunny Chow does sound a little bit like one of those K-pop bands, doesn't it, mate? We were just talking about that. And the other thing is, I'm going to adjust the recipe because I had another bit off camera, and I think I just basically ate a cinnamon cigar. So I really do think... it's his advice that you're supposed to bash it up with a mortar and pestle to get it fine. I don't really want to eat the star anise either, so I'll recommend that. But it's flavour packed. It's so good, isn't it? You'd love it. You really would.